Hey y'all, I'm gonna give y'all the time to get in here. Okay, on this Sunday evening, noon or night. Y'all come on in and smash that like button, okay? All right, I want to give a shout out to all my subscribers and my viewers, and especially my moderator. You know, it's another thing when you're married and your husband. It's a home invasion by your husband there. It was a home suspicion home invasion, y'all. Yeah, let's give a shout out to uh what is it? Crime investigation crime. Let's give a shout out to them, okay? What happened in this video right here? A nurse, and when you think about nurse, you think about a person that tried to help people, a person that you trust to help you when you come into the hospital. But in this situation right here, her husband was shot to death. Okay, doing a home invasion. So that's where we are in this video right here. We are in an interrogation against his wife. And you know that's the first thing they come after you. They come after either the husband. When something happened to the husband, they come after the wife. When it happened to the wife, they come after the husband. So is your significant other the one who was shot? Okay, so we're gonna get into our video for this evening. Yes, and shout out to all these people who are having these spring breaks right now. Okay, no, we're not having our right now. Okay, let's listen to this live as she has been interrogated by the investigators. Okay, and tell me what you think later.
No, but I didn't do it. But I am an honest person. I'm not a liar. How do you face somebody when you've done something like this? How do you take someone's life and then go on with your own? I don't know how.
Y'all heard that, didn't you?
Jennifer Gilman grew up in rural Minnesota, and when she became pregnant at 16, she was determined to be the best mother possible. She was determined to provide her son with a good future, and she pursued a degree in nursing. She eventually purchased a home and land in rural Blue Earth County, Minnesota. Between raising her son and focusing on her career, she did not have much time for dating. In 2007, she met 24-year-old Jim Nibby. He was helping a friend with a medical crisis, and Jennifer was the nurse responding to that emergency. The two started to date and found they both enjoyed hunting and spending time together. It wasn't long before Jim proposed, and the couple was married in 2008. Jennifer was still working as a nurse, working two different jobs to make ends meet. Jim was an apprentice electrician, not earning a fraction of his wife's income. This was a source of frustration to Jennifer, which led to dissatisfaction with her marriage and inspired.
Okay, now in this situation right here, this lady is making more money than her husband. Okay, and usually, that's what happened in some cases. Okay, so I don't know if right here in this interrogation she gonna get stressed. He didn't just die. Okay, but let's listen to this.
It was the day before the wake. I ended up having this crap too.
How long did it last? A little while?
It was a good 3-4 days. He had a fever and stuff too. So, just a couple questions. Can I ask some questions or no?
You can, but
Well, hold up. Now I know this chick ain't in here with her leg propped up in his chair, talking about she gonna ask them questions, and they the investigators. You're messing up, sister. You're messing up. Okay.
But what we have to clarify a couple things, Jen, just for the record, is that you initiated and told the jail that you wanted to talk to us.
Yes.
So that's why we came in here.
Yes.
And met with you. And then the other thing is, for us to talk to you at all, we have to read your rights because you're in custody now. So I do have to do that again.
Okay.
And if there's a question you don't want to answer or something like that, you never have to. That's maybe I haven't made that clear before, but I do have to go through that again. Okay.
Fine.
All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say cannot be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer now or have a lawyer present now or anytime during questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed for you without cost.
Okay.
Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you?
I do.
And having them in mind, are you willing to speak with us at this time?
Yes. For one thing for Monday is because the lawyer that I wanted to get, and as I'm thinking about things and things are going through my mind, if I decide not to hire this lawyer, you said, is one going to be appointed to me on
Sure.
Monday then? Is that how that works?
Right. If you decided not to hire a lawyer that you've already talked to, you can tell the court.
I was fed up with pretending.
So they trying to be
I've always
slick.
wondered. There's
She
a
ain't
place
really
I
got
can
to
be
talk
myself.
now, but that if she
And
don't
then-
have a
You
lawyer.
can either tell the court, I have this lawyer, or I have that lawyer, or I'm going to call a lawyer, or I'd like you to appoint me a lawyer, whichever. You just need to tell the court
Okay.
what your intentions are.
Okay.
Yep.
The second thing is am I ever at any chance going to be able to say hi to Brady or talk to him at all or anything or?
Brady is Nibby's 16-year-old son. Brady had a good relationship with his stepfather and was frightened and confused during his interview with the police. And we'll hear more about what happened next.
I don't want to make a promise,
Okay.
but
It's
it's possible. Court hearings are open to the public.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means family can come, anybody can come, for that matter. They're open to the public, and Brady is
Thanks,
16,
she's
so
smart.
you'd be considered old enough to come into the courtroom and be there. Now, generally, they're not going to let you go have physical contact, I don't think, with them, is generally the way it works.
Okay.
Over video.
Oh, I see.
At the jail, at the jail, but I mean, up in court, you'd see him, but like if you tried to go have physical
Right.
contact, they would probably stop you because there's always issues, and I'm not saying you would do this, but issues of if somebody's trying to smuggle something to somebody,
Yes.
so they try to avoid the contact.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's,
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it's not absolutely
Come
not
on, y'all,
possible,
let's
but I'm
get
not
to the
gonna guarantee it
interrogation.
either, because it just kind of depends on some things.
What was I? You said homicide yesterday. What are my convictions?
Well, you're not convicted of anything yet, you're charged.
Okay, what am I charged
You're
with?
charged
I never
with-
got a charge sheet or a
Oh,
charge.
the jail had a copy of it.
They have a copy of it over there.
Oh.
Maybe, did you ask them to see it or anything? Or
I didn't, I guess.
We can make that happen too. We go back
Right,
over.
but I can tell you it's second degree
Okay.
murder is what
Second
what
degree
you're charged
murder.
with.
Okay.
That's
And what does that entail?
well, I think it's second degree intentional murder is what you're charged
I mean, what you went over there to the courthouse and you didn't talk to the people. You didn't tell them people why you charge, what you charge for, da 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 da. Jeez.
with. So that just means that you intended to kill somebody. It's if you accidentally shoot somebody, that's generally charged as manslaughter, for instance. Like if you're being careless with a gun, doing something crazy and it goes off, a lot of times you'll see guys think a gun's unloaded and they point
So
and pull the
that's
trigger and it's not.
accidental. It's
That's oftentimes
manslaughter.
charged like as a manslaughter because it was an accident, but you were still doing something that you really shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
Then you'd be charged with manslaughter. Then the next step up from that is second degree murder. So that's
So what
the
happened?
situation.
Ask the lady what
I
happened.
don't know what to say. I just want all this to go away.
I know.
And I know it's not going to.
What happened?
I think sometimes it's what we're talking to you about without us knowing what exactly happened.
Like I said, I mean, we know about the drug stuff, John. Okay, if you're out of your mind on drugs, you're out of your mind on drugs. That's okay, but we need to know that and hear it from you, I guess, is the only thing,
Nibby was addicted to prescription medication. Her increasing need for money to support her habit was one of the motivations for the murder.
What?
I have an addiction to prescription painkillers.
Okay.
Y'all,
When
just
it's
remind y'all, this is a nurse. She need money for prescription medicine. So she had her husband killed.
start,
I'm so ashamed.
it's okay.
I call prescriptions in for myself. I'm just so ashamed.
It's okay.
A lot of people have things happen, and a lot of people make mistakes. You're not the only person that's ever been addicted to prescription pain medication.
It's okay.
Hmm. She a nurse.
Was there an event that kind of started that off, that precipitated that? Did you get injured or something, or
I
just?
injured my ankle a while ago, and it got worse after. While we were dating that first
Y'all get the
year,
lights up for
it
me.
wasn't too bad, and then it was slightly before I think we got married that I ended up becoming addicted to them and needing to have them all the time. Otherwise, I would go through withdrawal.
Okay. What did it start with tramadol or start with something else?
No, it's just always been
It's been tramadol. Because
Yeah.
that's not a commonly prescribed drug, is it?
It's not even a controlled substance.
Okay.
It's not even a controlled narcotic, but it has opioid effect.
Okay. So it kind of affects your brain the same way a narcotic would.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how much? I mean, how much are you using right now? How much had you been using on average?
180 pills a week.
What?
Oh,
What?
8 per day is the max.
okay. And those are what? How many milligrams?
Y'all, you hear this? What? 100 some pills a week and 40 milligrams a day. And she's a nurse. Whew, boy, people.
40 milligram,
50.
50 milligram pills.
A large number of people become addicted to pain medication that they are prescribed after an injury or surgery.
They
They
do.
usually do not realize what is happening until
Mhm.
it is too late.
This is why I stopped shopping.
And you
on
know
Amazon.
what? And that
You should
is
too.
true. It
Don't
easy
spend another
to
dime
get.
on Amazon.
It easy to
Wow.
get addicted to pain medicine, and when you don't have an injury or something like that. But come on now, not about your husband now. It's supposed to be about your husband being shot to death in a home invasion. Come on now. So you take your husband's life?
My life wasn't, this is how we're supposed to go.
Geez.
Well, and it sounds like from some of the stuff we're hearing, for a while, you've been kind of carrying all the bills and that kind of stuff. So you've been under, a lot of pressure to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs.
And can't get sick.
That doesn't help.
I never wanted to hurt anybody. But I am an honest person. I'm not a liar. And I've always taught that to my son. But I've become that person. I've become that liar that finding excuses why I'd be late for work and stuff, and a lot of it was the meds. A lot of it was the using. And I worked in healthcare. I knew you could get help, but I didn't do it.
You should have got some help, sweetie.
A lot of people have to battle through stuff too, John. Like I said, it's nothing that anybody wants to talk about too, but you're not the only person that's had to go through that stuff. And it has effects on people where they do stuff that they wouldn't normally do. It changes them, It really does. We see it all the time. prescription drug stuff is getting to be bigger than anything else. So there's a lot of people that have problems with it.
I can't face anybody. How do you face somebody when you've done something like this?
I know.
Oh man, it's sad.
It was like I was there, but I wasn't.
Like you were not in your
Mm-hmm.
person watching yourself do something, and
Saying it was the devil. Get rid of it.
was there voices telling you that? Did you feel like you were hallucinating?
I don't know.
You hadn't slept all night, had you?
She's stressed.
I could tell that morning you looked like you'd been up for hours and hours.
Mm-hmm.
You've been taking way too many pills.
Yeah,
Do you ever
way too many.
do you ever crush them up? Are you ingesting them any other way than?
Sorry, I have some hair or something in my
Okay.
mouth. I usually just took them as pills.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I never injected or anything like that.
Okay.
Mm. And this is something interesting, y'all, to watch because on a Sunday evening, or night, or noon, or whatever, because prescription drugs, you can easily get addicted to them. And only thing the pain feel good. It won't go away. You need some more. But to take her to another level to where it's a home invasion and her husband was shot. This become dangerous for her and her family. Sheesh. It became bad and she should have got some help. She a nurse.
Is it kind of a secret you were keeping too, or did other people know about it much?
Nobody knew about it.
Nobody knew nothing about it. It's
Feel
sad.
confident your taxes are done right with TurboTax Live experts.
It is easy to hide this from family members,
Mm.
although some may become suspicious about changes in mood or behavior.
Getting harder to keep that secret, or?
Well, financially wise, I suppose it was. Because I had to pay for those. And it wasn't cheap, but I also had to pay for everything else. So.
Yeah, it seemed like they said from what we're hearing, Jim hadn't been working much up until recently.
Up until these last 4
Right.
weeks, I suppose.
So you were carrying the mortgage and the bills, and
She was stressed.
they're working 3 jobs. It's a lot of pressure.
I don't understand how somebody goes from this to this, just like that. I don't get it.
Mm.
I know. You know what, Jen? I want to tell you just about my friend, my best friend in the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
We've been friends for many years, worked together, do stuff outside of work together.
I know you can lie to me though, is this bullshit?
No, it is not bullshit.
Okay, I'm sorry, you guys.
No, listen.
She shouldn't even be talking like
No, I
that.
know you're not stupid. Jen, I absolutely know you're not stupid.
Y'all see how she changed? You see how she changed on them? And he trying to tell her something about, the detective trying to tell her about his situation with one of his friend, and then she saying something. I know y'all, that y'all trying to say I'm stupid. So that means she's sitting there all guilty. I ain't never seen nobody switch up like that.
Okay? We've talked to a ton of people, and we've talked to you, and I know you're not stupid, and I do not think you're stupid, and neither does Paul.
We've spent a lot of time talking together, and I don't think
we don't think you're stupid. This is a true story. I'm just telling you this because I want you to understand that we're not these evil people who just think terribly of you, okay? But I had a good friend. We were very close for 12 years, partners at work, not outside of work. We were like this, okay? We're kind of like you and Carrie. You know what I mean? We're tight. and he had hurt his back and then he had hurt his knee, both on work-related injuries, and he had gotten hooked on pain pills. He was taking oxycodone though, but same effect on the brain probably. And I had no idea, and he had gotten addicted, and he was doing the same types of things, internet pharmacies, taking all these pills, and it destroyed his life. It destroyed our friendship. He ended up losing his job. I mean, and he was out of his mind. He was doing crazy things. And this was my best friend. And I'm like, this can't be. This can't be happening. I don't believe it, but it does happen because it controls you.
And the best part about this interrogation is he can tell his story. He can tell his story about his friends to her, instead of dogging her out. This is a true story that he telling her about his friend. He didn't have to share that information with her.
BS story. I swear to you, it's a true story. So I can't relate personally, like I can say I've been in your shoes, but I've seen it before. Okay, I've seen it before up close, and it's very powerful. And like I've said before, it makes people do things that they wouldn't do in a million years.
That's right.
And we can't. None of us can go back and undo what's happened. Okay? As much as you want to, okay, I know you want to, but we can't.
God, if I could give it back in our feet, I would.
What?
If I could give it my life, I would.
Here's the thing. You said something, Jen, that we can lie to you, and we to a degree police can, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, I promise. You have my word. I'm not. I hope you can look at me in the eyes and believe that I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. We don't want to do that. We don't need to do that. You said yourself, you've always been an honest person, and that again, all the people we talk to, your friends, your family, all of them say the same thing. Okay. You are of good character. Okay. You have no criminal record. You have worked hard to make something of yourself, and you've worked very hard to make something of Brady, and he is a great kid. He's #1 in his class.
He is a good kid. Oh God, he's a good kid. This is gonna kill him.
Well, no, Brady can survive this. Okay, he can survive this. Okay, it's gonna be hard. Okay.
Nobody's gonna ever forgive me. I guess I can't blame them.
Many of Nibby's friends and family members will struggle to come to terms with what she has done.
That's her
James
son.
was loved by everyone, and it will be hard to forgive Nibs in any way for causing his death.
Not only is the food delicious and appealing to consumers.
So sometimes they will, though.
I don't know that I don't say that would necessarily be the case.
So if I plead guilty on Monday, what is going to happen to me?
That I can't tell you that, and again, I told you I won't lie. I don't know.
That's
Okay?
the judge.
All those decisions, our job, Paul's job, my job, we're not here to judge you. Okay?
No.
It's only our job to gather the facts, to find the truth, and present that to the prosecuting attorney. They make the decision on charges. The judge has input on all those things on sentence, and that's all that's all stuff we're getting the cart kind of ahead of the horse here. But what I can tell you, that the only thing we can do for you is try and present your story fairly and accurately, and that's what I've promised people before. Is I won't twist things. Okay, I won't try to portray you as something that you're not. Okay, I'm not going to try to just put spin on it. You know what I mean? I can promise you, that's the thing I promise you, is that I can make sure that what is real and true and accurate goes forward. And if you present, I would never go to the court and say, oh, I think Jennifer has, been a terrible mother and a terrible wife. I don't think those things at all. I think that, you've done the right things, okay? And I would be honest in that, okay? What would happen to you, what potential sentences and those kinds of things, man, that's all for people above us. That's for prosecuting and attorneys to make on charging decisions and judges, that's all beyond us. I can't make that up. That's just the way
Are
it
they
is.
gonna make me reenact everything?
No, I
Reenact?
don't. You know, to enter a guilty plea, you have to give some statement of what happened for the judge to be satisfied that it's believable, he accepts it, and
Did y'all hear what she said? Did y'all hear what she said? She said, "Are y'all gonna make me reenact?" Ain't nobody reenacting. Ain't nobody. This ain't no reenactment. This is for real.
all those things. You know, because sometimes, crazy as it sounds, sometimes people who didn't do things sometimes do claim to have done something, and so the judge has to make sure that he believes, you know, that. But as far as actually reenacting things, no.
And I think too, a lot of what we do too is for courts and for our job for that. But a lot of what we do too is for people that are left behind. You know, I personally would if I empathize with the family too. Mm-hmm. I'm sure the account would want to know too exactly.
Right.
You know, and
that's the biggest question right now. Probably that the people we talk to have is they want to know how and why. You know, they just want answers. You know, they want something that they can kind of wrap their mind around and say, well, okay, this is why this all happened.
And we kind of got a little bit of a window into things through our investigation too. You know, but again, we weren't there, so.
There's just so many things going through my head, I don't know. I mean, it's everything we've talked about. It's the pressure of everything, the finances, and the drugs.
All of these are factors, but Nibby still hasn't mentioned her communications with one of her ex-boyfriends.
What
Woo!
would your life be like if you had
Oh,
transformational
so
therapy?
she
And you live, when
she ain't brought up that boyfriend, ex-boyfriend.
you live your day for that next fix.
Jim didn't know anything about this either. We were able to keep it from him, at least.
For the most part, yeah. I would say it was my headache medicine or stomach medicine or.
And your family and everybody has said, yeah, Jen's, we don't think she's well physically. That's people have told us that. They've recognized that something's wrong. Don't know what.
Y'all need it. Look, y'all.
Like I said, it was me, but it wasn't me.
She need to tell the truth. She sat there and said that she don't lie, but she still not bringing up her ex-boyfriend. And she married. You still lying.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Well, Jen, what's more important than it happened? You can't back up and do it. Obviously, you're sorry. Okay, you said yourself if you could change it and give your life, you would. Is that true? You said that? That's what you meant?
Yeah.
Because there again, those are things that I think that's important for people to hear that from you. You know how you feel that you're not some uncaring. Okay.
It was horrible. It was horrible what had happened. I thought, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do?
Tell them what happened. Y'all talk to her.
And that's why I made it look like someone tried to hurt me and came in and.
Okay. I want to make sure on a couple things though that are important. Okay. Brady had nothing to do with any of this.
No.
Swear.
I swear to God. No, I swear to God.
He doesn't know
No.
anything about it. He didn't help you set
No.
the scene up or
No.
anything.
Oh God, no.
You truly didn't wake him up until.
No.
The investigation determined that Nibby acted alone, and Brady had no idea that his mother had intended to hurt his stepfather.
Afterwards.
Wow, y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Her son don't even know she hurt her husband, his stepfather, somebody that he really loved to death. And she took his life just because things that she was selfish and wanted to do.
I swear to God. I swear on my life, I swear.
Well, I know. I believe you if you swear that it's the truth.
swear.
I do.
But I have to ask you that.
Yes.
I have to be clear on that.
I do.
Um,
Brady had absolutely nothing to do with it. He was so startled when I went down there, because I was on the phone with 911. When I went down there to ask him, he was asleep. You know,
Okay.
he was dead asleep, and I called his name twice, and then he finally woke up. You know, with the big eyes.
Woke that baby up out his sleep.
What the hell is going on, Mom?
right.
You know.
So his reactions, which they seem like they're all very normal and
Yeah.
appropriate for somebody in that situation, that's all legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brady knew nothing about it. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Did anybody know about it?
No.
Yes.
No.
Terry, nobody?
Nobody.
Somebody know.
Nobody.
Okay.
Tell the truth. You say you're not a
How
liar.
long had you been thinking about it, though, that night? I mean, like you say, you were up all night.
I went to sleep at one point.
Okay.
Um, because we went to sleep, and I think by the time I actually fell asleep, though, it was like probably 12:30. And then I woke up at 4:30 to my alarm.
Okay.
And I shut that off, and I had fallen back asleep.
Okay.
And then when it was 5:30, that's when I all of a sudden got into a panic and went. Because I had taken some meds.
And you hadn't had much sleep.
Mm.
So, oh, it just makes me sick even thinking about it.
I
And
know.
what I did.
I know. I'm sure it's been just killing you the last few days.
It's been killing me since the day it happened.
I think we were talking to you too.
Yeah.
No, that it shows. It's clear.
It's a lot to carry
I don't
around.
know how I'm gonna live with this the rest of my life. I don't know how. But the other thing is, when I know that Jim is in heaven, and that Brady will someday go to heaven, and then if I try to take my own life, I won't be with them. Because that just crossed my mind too.
Well, and I would just encourage you, please don't try to push those thoughts out, because you know what? You made a mistake, but you're still Brady's mother, and you're going to be his mother for the rest of his life, and you need to continue to do that, okay?
Even if it is for my child.
You know what? She's selfish. She's just a selfish wife. She's sitting here being selfish. And she's supposed to be someone that help people. And it's more to this than she's saying it is. Now, for her to do this, have this done to her husband, she had to plan this. She ain't just wake up the night and just say, "Oh, I need some medication, I need some prescription drug, I need to do this to my husband." No, you didn't. Because you work every day. Now it's time for you to sit here and talk and tell the truth. Because your son not going to forgive you no way. Your son probably forgive you, but he probably ain't going to forget you. You forget because you did this to his stepfather, somebody that he loved to get the most, just like girls like they stepmothers. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're supposed to be someone that help people.
I'm just sick about it. I am just so sick.
It sounds like when I talked to Carrie the one day, we were going to meet with the minister or
Yes. Yeah, Pastor
You did.
Nancy.
Nancy.
Yeah. Pastor Nancy we met.
So you are very active in the church, like you said,
Yeah.
that way too.
You acted in the church.
So,
Mm.
I mean, I'm sure that's part of it too. It's probably difficult to carry this around too when
Mm.
you're active in
Feeling
church
guilty.
like that too. You
I'd
know?
be an honest person,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think to me it speaks volumes about what we've been hearing about you from everybody else.
Right. And that's,
You know,
But I
that's
took somebody's son and I took somebody's brother
That's right.
and grandson and uncle and
That's right. You're on the right track.
he was a good person.
You shouldn't have took his
He was a
life.
good person. There were some things in our marriage that were not the greatest, but I mean, he was a good person.
What was it?
I just can't live with this lie.
and that's the first step that you've taken now, Jen, is you're recognizing that you are still a person with good qualities, okay? And you're on the right track to try and still be that person. You know what I mean? This is not the end of Jen, okay? It's not. This is you're gonna.
I feel like it is.
Well, I know, but
To avoid Nibby shutting down, the detectives have to prevent her from drowning in hopelessness, even though the reality of her future is far from pleasant.
That's right.
How can somebody do that?
You the somebody. You act alone.
And I kept saying no, and it was like someone was telling me.
It's that devil.
Well,
telling you that Jim's the devil.
No. Telling her.
and I did it.
And then you thought, oh my God, what did I do?
She was the devil. Sleeping with the enemy.
Thank you for letting me bury him
It's okay.
before arresting me. I appreciate that.
Okay. You're welcome. And
Thank you for what?
you deserve to have that. You deserve to have that closure and your say goodbye. Okay? Just because you made a mistake doesn't mean you didn't care about him.
She didn't make a mistake.
He was a good man. I need help though.
I told y'all she gonna need help. And she asked for it. And that's her first step. And
I know that this is really hard, and I don't want to push you, okay?
Okay.
I don't. I really don't. And I'm not going to. And Paul's not either, okay? This is you, and I'm going to write the report that way.
Okay.
That Jen did this of her own volition. We didn't make her do this. She is a big person, is a person of strong enough character, and said, I'm going to be honest and do this, okay? Because that's what happened, right?
Yes.
And I guarantee I will make the report reflect that, okay? That is the way this happened, and I'm not gonna push you. I know you're.
only thing I don't like what just took place just a few minutes ago, if y'all were paying attention. This investigator right here was speaking. He cut him out. He cut him out when he was speaking, as if whatever you're about to say, no, that's not what we're gonna do here. You so rude. You shouldn't have did that.
A very hard time with this, okay? Which is completely understandable. But we do need to go through the details, or we'd like to, just one time, okay? And you do it, and we're not going to push, and you do it at your own pace, okay? But I know you want to have the truth out there.
Okay,
Exactly.
y'all. Here you go.
Okay? From start to finish, one time.
I don't know where to start. I guess.
Let's start Monday night.
Monday night. Okay.
Let's start Monday night. you're with Carrie, right? She was not doing well, not feeling well. Is that
Let her
true?
talk.
Yep.
Okay, I thought it
Yes,
was.
that is very true.
Okay.
And there is something I'd like to clear up. Supposedly, she said that I didn't go on an ambulance call. I did go on an
Okay.
ambulance call that night.
On the ambulance call on Saturday,
Yes,
the
on
Saturday
Saturday
when
night.
she was not feeling well as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
I did go on that
Okay.
ambulance call, and she said, "Oh, I told you." And I said, "I told you I went on that ambulance
Okay,
call."
so she's mistaken.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So some things are not always exactly clear in her head
Okay.
either. So, but
I will make a note for us to square that away. And you know what? We can go check the records,
sure.
and they'll show that you were there. So.
Exactly. I'll be on the run report. So.
Right.
Um,
Okay. So let's start with Monday night when you're with Carrie.
So Monday night I was with Carrie. We talked about, let's see, what did we talk about? She wasn't feeling good. We talked about all at work, because they had tried to, I guess, get her to work and didn't work. And the bosses were mad because they had made her come in on Sunday, and I guess she had a work note saying she wasn't supposed to be there and stuff.
Okay.
So then we went out to Monpause because of the whole, there had been people with flashlights and stuff in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
So we went out there to check to make sure everything was okay.
So that's all true too. That wasn't made up or anything
Right.
about
Right.
this. Okay.
And Yukon freaking out the other night.
Mm-hmm.
That was true too.
Okay.
Yeah, that was true too.
Okay.
And so we checked that out and tried to reiterate to Pa not to, go outside by himself and stuff. And then as I was leaving Carrie's, Jim had called, and I think I had missed his call, so I called him back, and he said he was just getting home from work. So I went back home.
It is possible that Nibby was planning the murder several days beforehand
Told y'all.
and wanted the explanation of an attacker to be convincing.
Oh, it's horrible.
I know.
It's horrible, though, you
Told
guys.
y'all.
I know.
And yes, I had to, there was a gun Jim had bought for me.
That's true too.
That's very true.
Okay.
Jim bought the gun for me, wanted me to learn how to target practice.
Was he, when you got home Monday night, was he already home or did you get home first?
He was home first, and then I
He was
got
home,
home.
then you
He
got
was
there.
outside dinking around, so I said,
Okay.
"You want to help?" Or I said, "Do you want me to target shoot? Because you've been wanting me to target shoot." He bought me that gun.
Mm-hmm.
So we target shoot, or we did our target practice or whatever, went inside, got a little to eat. Brady and I
So
had
you
our
shot
meatball
first?
fart. Yeah, I think we shot first.
Then went inside.
And then went inside to eat.
Okay.
And then me and Brady had our little meatball fight.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I came back upstairs and had finished off the rest of the meatballs and the mashed potatoes, and Jim had been making some other leftovers and stuff for him. And then I put the dishes away, and I brushed my teeth, and then Jim and I went and sat on the couch and watched TV. And he had set the gun
Where at? In which room?
in the but next to the sliding glass door.
Okay.
He set that in the corner, and I knew the ammo was up there too,
Okay.
because we had put that there.
And he had showed you how to load the gun,
Mm-hmm.
how to, and can,
Yeah, because we went deer hunting the year before. I mean, he was trying to teach me how to do all that with any type of gun that he was getting me to use. So, and then we watched the news until 10:30 and went to bed. He was after me about sex a lot, and that was something that bothered me.
okay, cause some friction between you two?
Yeah, he
This was something that Nibby never brought up in her journal,
See?
although she detailed her affair with another man, as well as her growing dissatisfaction with Jim. She wrote that he was a good man, but no longer wanted to remain married to him.
wanted on a pretty regular basis, and I tried the best I could, but sometimes it just sometimes I just had problems with that, and if you continue to push and push and push, it just ends up not being fun for the other person,
Right.
So,
Just be some tension.
so there was resentment there, because it was a constant thing. A constant, you want to do it, you want to do it, you want to And there was no romance left when it came to that. It was like, fine, just finish and get it over with so I can go to sleep, I guess. So I actually had made something up that I had a yeast infection or something like that.
Okay. So he was.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's all right. And he was that night wanting to have sex, and you didn't want to.
Yep, and I didn't want to.
Did it become a big fight, or was it just kind of a?
He usually just got mad and rolled over and went to bed. That's usually the way it would go.
Okay.
That happened every week.
Okay.
If not twice a week, he would get mad at me for it. If he could have it every day, he could. But
That's not what it's about.
In certain ways, it's just not fun anymore. So. So I laid there and I laid there. I had taken some pills before I had gone to bed.
Do you remember how many?
Probably like 6 or 8.
6 or 8?
Which sometimes when I do that I have a hard time sleeping to begin with because that is how it messes with me sometimes.
Kind of like make you agitated.
It does. It kind of keeps you up, makes you dream, stuff like that. And so I woke up alarm went off at 4:30, and I had shut it off. And I think I had a couple more pills.
A couple more pills?
Laying on the nightstand that I had taken. I don't remember if I had water there, if I just took them dry. I don't even know.
I don't know if she's telling the truth.
And I had fallen back to sleep, though. And I woke up at 5:30 in a panic.
Keep talking.
And that's when I went out and I got the gun. And I loaded one shell.
Okay.
And I came back into the bedroom.
Jesus.
And there was a throw blanket laying on the end of the bed. So I took that and kind of rested the gun on his shoulder. And it just kept saying, "It's the devil, it's the devil." And I pulled the trigger.
Okay. Should have got some help, young lady. You're a nurse. You work with people.
God, I'm just so sick.
You knew what you was doing.
This is not me. I'm not this person.
God, you killed your husband.
How I stopped eating junk food?
Ooh,
Thanks to
Lord, that hamburger look good, but honey,
delivered right to your door without.
shot her husband.
I put the gun down.
Somebody you love.
I panicked and I went to go find his phone. And I couldn't find it, so I had to run out to the craft room to get mine. I called 911 and I went back in to check on it. I couldn't feel a pulse.
She even checked his
Did you check on his neck or his wrist or?
I think I checked on his wrist and his neck. Okay. I can't remember, to be honest.
She checked his wrist and his neck to make sure that her husband was unalive. That's what she did. Usually you'll be afraid to touch your husband or your wife. But she making sure he's unalive.
But at that point you knew he was gone.
See what happened. Y'all, Men, you just have to check on your wife like they check on you. That's a shame. She didn't have to kill him. Now tell us about your boyfriend.
family is never going to forgive. Neither is his. And my son.
Jim's family would not forgive Nibby,
Mm-mm.
especially after she tried to blame Jim, and she refused to allow the family to have any of his possessions.
That's sad.
I think it's a lot to ask for them to forgive, but I think at the same time, Jen, you're giving them some answers too. And that's important for them.
You can't control what they do or how they feel. All you can control right now is your actions from this point forward. Okay, and you made a horrible mistake. There's no disputing that. I'm not going to minimize it. Okay, we all know that. You know, I said we don't think you're dumb. You know that. You know, but all you can control from here on out is your actions from this point forward. And all you can do is try to be the best person you can be, and set that example for Brady that even when you make a mistake, you can be honest with it. You can, you know, take your punishment and try and do the right thing. Try to make your amends with who will accept it and who, your dad. I don't know him, but he's gonna be
The main thing, y'all, she still haven't mentioned nothing about the boyfriend, about that other man. She still haven't mentioned that. She need to mention it.
always. Your mom's gonna be your mom, and they will still love you. You know. Will they be disappointed? Will they be hurt? Sure. That's not my lie to that either. Of course they will. But they will still care about you. Okay. I believe that.
He had so many years to live.
Y'all had so many years together. And you did him like this. This is sad.
I never thought. And I guess marijuana isn't the worst thing, but I watched my dad for 40 years deal with marijuana addiction, and
Now she
you just wouldn't think you'd get yourself into drug addiction either.
now she
Was
want to
that a
blame
long time ago,
people.
or when was that?
Dad,
You know, when your dad was
he stopped smoking pot when he was 40 years old.
okay.
Yeah, he's 50. What is he, 53, 54 now?
Okay.
54. Yeah. He was a good father, though. He never, and I'm not saying it's right, but he never did it in front of us, and he never suggested,
Y'all see how what she doing now? She is taking the issue off of her and she putting it on her dad. Okay. Let's get back on your husband.
all the weirdos and stuff that stuff can produce, but he smoked pot since he was, 20 years old, 21, until he was 40.
I just have to clarify a couple things, okay? You said that there was a throw rug, is what you describe it as?
Throw a blanket?
Throw blanket.
Yeah.
And you put that up there on his shoulder and rested the gun on it. Was that for any other reason other than to stabilize the gun? Were you trying to make it quieter so that Brady wouldn't wake up or anything like that?
Brady did not hear the shot that killed Jim.
I mean, was it like around the barrel at all, or?
Let's see what tripping me out is what did she give Brady? She could have gave Brady something to put Brady out. You know what I mean? Cause Brady didn't hear nothing. He didn't hear the gun go off. He could barely hear her when she was trying to wake him up. Did she give him any kind of medication? She could have gave him something.
Was that your thinking at that time to not wake up Brady or not?
No, maybe not. I think because I was shaking so bad, it was rattling.
Okay. Just like you were
Yeah.
trembling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though Jim was a heavy sleeper. But... How do you take someone's life and then go on with your own? I don't know how.
Hi, I'm
Man,
Nicole Hockley from Sandy Hook Promise.
she is
I
really
know
getting
this is
next
hard
to
to
me.
hear, but
She
it's
is really
important.
getting next to me.
Do you have any other questions for me? I think I need to go lay down.
Yeah, just one other one. It was the same gun that he had taught you to shoot,
Yes.
and what kind of gun is that? I mean, is
Is
it
it a 12 gauge or a 20 gauge? I
Is it
can't.
a shotgun?
It's a shotgun with a scope.
Okay, and it's the action. Do you know what kind of action it is?
Scope
you have
on
to
him?
load a bullet in it.
Like a semi-automatic? Is that what you mean?
Do you have to pump it?
You have to pump it
Okay, is that the?
in order to.
Okay, because there is another gun up there that Brady brought up.
Yes.
And I just want to verify we're on the,
Oh,
we have to sort that out.
oh,
And
wow.
our scientists will have to do that. And you used the ammunition you said was the same ammunition?
Yep.
And it was what kind of, was it birdshot or slug?
A slug, I think.
And she know the difference between the bird slot and the
To be
slug.
honest, I don't.
Okay.
No.
But that's what you were shooting outside was slugs.
I believe it was slugs.
Which
Wow.
deer hunting is what he's having you practice with.
I think so, yes.
Okay.
And I know Mike said that we weren't gonna push you, and is it okay if I ask you, because I was wondering too, and, you know, because we had talked that morning and stuff, and then I went in there and you were on the couch sitting there with Brady. Things that kind of, there was stuff laying there in the room, and there was a chair that was moved and stuff. When did all that stuff get put in the
There you
room
go.
or changed, or? Because our assumption was that it,
Overturned and moved around the room to make it appear as if there had been a break-in.
God, this woman is something
Before
else.
or after?
This woman is something else, y'all. She planned the murder. She planned the killing of her husband. She planned the home invasion. Wow. And she's sitting here talking about she an honest nurse.
Okay.
do you remember though what was put out there and moved around and stuff?
I know I had pushed the chair. I disheveled the chair.
Yeah.
The like rocking.
Yeah, the rocking chair with the newsstand next to it.
Okay.
And the rope and the knife.
And where did the rope come from?
It was on the counter.
Okay. And the knife is a kitchen knife?
Yeah.
And then the sai, that big weed cutter thing,
Mm-hmm.
how does that come into play in this?
Yeah.
Were you thinking that would help your story about an intruder or
It was out in the garage.
in the attached garage?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you brought that in there and just laid it down?
Yes.
Okay. That would have been before you called 911. So.
Yes.
And I know I just have a couple other quick questions. When I talked to you before, remember I asked you about impact spatter on your clothing?
Yeah.
The clothing that we collected from you, was it the clothing you were wearing at the time?
Yeah.
It was. But you were very confident that there would be no impact spatter on there. Why is that? Or
Oh, I don't know.
you just were playing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that day you said, oh, there won't be any blood spatter on my clothing.
Oh, I didn't. I don't even remember that, to be
Okay.
honest with you. I
Okay.
don't.
Okay. I just was wondering if you had changed clothes or something, or
No.
why you were, because you were very confident in that answer. And I just
Probably
was
did
curious,
change clothes.
Usually when there's something where there's a gunshot, as you know, there's blood splatter and it gets on your clothes.
Yeah.
And scientists can look at that
She
and
changed
see that's a
clothes.
different type of stain,
Allegedly.
versus. And just the last couple things, so the cuts on your legs,
Yeah.
you inflicted,
Yes.
What?
marks on your neck,
Yes,
you
they were
inflicted.
self-inflicted.
Brady didn't help you inflict any
No.
of those things or do any of that?
No.
I know you said he's not involved, but I'm just
No.
making sure. The one mark on your neck looked like a fork mark, like a fork. What did you use to make the marks on your neck? I guess is what I'm
The
asking.
knife.
You used the knife to make the marks on your neck.
Y'all see that?
And same thing with your arms.
Yeah.
And the knife that you put out there, or a different knife?
No, the same knife.
That same knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Jeez.
And I can't, and I know that, there's probably more questions. Is there anything that you want us to make sure that goes in the report that the prosecutor knows that, I know you're sorry, right?
Very.
That's
Sorry.
obvious. That's obvious.
What else you want
Have
them
you
to know?
talked to anybody and told anybody about this yet, Jen?
No.
Besides us?
No.
You've not called your dad or talked to anybody?
No.
Okay.
She talked to somebody, y'all. I'm telling y'all. She just ain't
They talked
telling.
about that wedding ring.
Did we ever find it?
That's what I was wondering if
Yeah,
you knew.
we don't have it, and it wasn't with Jim, so. You didn't do anything with it?
I did not. No, I didn't.
Well, somebody.
His sister is kind of messed up though, and we caught her out at the farm after this happened, and she was taking some of his shirts and stuff, and I'm almost adamant she took it, but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Leslie.
Okay.
The family wanted personal items to remember Jim and did not feel that Nibby, as his killer, should have access to them.
She should.
Because we did check all over, and we just to make sure we didn't have it.
Right.
So
That's
we're being honest with you on that. So. But
She didn't want them to
in
have
my
it.
mind, it's just something that you didn't know what happened with it or something.
No.
So.
Any other questions for us? Anything you want us to answer?
What do I do on Monday?
You go to court.
Okay.
Do they usually do a morning arraignment bar here?
Usually it's around 8:15. They'll get you in at some point in the morning. Your case is probably gonna be a little bit different just because it's been publicized and stuff too. But they'll get you in Monday morning.
Can you guess which small plant
I want her to
type
say
2?
to the part
Is it
that
1?
she was this man helped her.
And like I say, he's a good kid and he's gonna be all right.
He's a good kid.
He's gonna know that his mom made a mistake, but he's also gonna know that his mom's a good person who told the truth, who's gonna go forward telling the truth, and that his mom still loves him.
Yeah.
Okay?
Did you know that I talked to him at the school about that girl that time?
Lexi.
And I'll never forget him with his honesty that day. I think he was one of the first ones we talked to, and
Yeah,
he was a great kid at that point. Even stood out in my mind, and I forgot. So.
that's good. He's a good kid. And I've been through a lot together.
We just have a couple clarification things quick and we'll take you back and you can rest. You said you woke up at 5:30. Had you been thinking about it at all for a while in bed? Like,
Yeah.
I gotta do this, I gotta change my life, I gotta
Mm-hmm. After she did.
I think I was at night when I was laying there wondering what could I do to change my life. And that's what I had thought about, I guess.
Did it come into your mind at all when you guys were target practicing? That day before when you asked him for help on the...
The shotgun had some sort of influence on Nibby. Jim had only given it to her days before his death.
I can't remember.
It's just something that I had kind of wondered about too with...
Right. Yeah, yes and no. Because I remember being appalled by even thinking that. But I guess I can't say no, it didn't.
Do you remember, Jen? I mean, was that part of the reason you asked to shoot that day before?
No. No. No, that was something Jim was after me to do almost every day, because he had just bought that. And he's like, you really need to start practicing with it. So, no, that was...
That wasn't a purpose for shooting it that day or anything?
Okay. This was your choice of your own doing
Yes.
today?
Yes, I asked you both to come in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I asked you, yeah, and I had asked for you. At first I thought she was only going to be able to get you to come in, but
But you wanted to speak to us investigators about this matter?
yes.
Nobody twisted your arm or
No.
tricked you or coerced you or
No.
anything like that? When
No.
we came in, I read your rights,
Yes.
you understood them,
Mhm.
you're in clear mind today,
I am.
you haven't been using any drugs today.
Absolutely not.
I hope they haven't been doing anything.
No.
So and after having read your rights, you chose to speak with us, correct? Okay, and the only thing that we promised you is that we would be fair about the truth in your story, that we wouldn't twist things that you said, correct?
Yeah.
And be truthful, so we've not made any other promises to you or anything like that? Okay. I just want to have that clear, so we're all on the same page on that,
Yeah.
that you were the one who said, get them guys in here, I want to talk to them.
Yeah.
I want that, because I want that to show that you're the one who initiated
By
it.
in other words, you didn't have a lawyer
So,
when you talked to them.
us?
I am.
I know this is
I
gonna,
do feel a little bit like a little weight has been lifted. I don't feel good about it yet, but I mean, I feel good that I
She haven't had her lawyer with her.
and what that shows, Jen, is that you are still a good person.
Okay, y'all. This is the end, really end of the interrogation. But the thing is,
Because if you didn't care, if you didn't feel
what the
bad,
attorney, what
you
the
wouldn't care. You know what I mean?
investigator
If
trying
you
to do
show us you
now?
care about
Hold
this,
on.
you've been feeling bad ever
What
since.
the investigator trying to cover up for themselves as uh did they take when she get ready to get a lawyer, she gonna say, man, did you talk to them without talking to me? And then she gonna say, yeah, she told them what happened. And that's not good in a situation like this. She shouldn't have talked to them without an attorney. Now now I want to give my feedback on this home invasion. She needed some help. She should have asked for help. But the help that she decided she wanted to do was something that she wanted to do to her husband, allegedly. Okay. She's a nurse and she helped people. And she used prescription drug medicine as something that she wanted to use, that she got addicted to. And in the end, to another thing, she was going through something. He lost his job. She was overworking, overturning jobs, and I think she leaving something out. I really think she leaving something out. So I'll say that I'm gonna let y'all know what happened. You know, in this situation, but I still think it's a man involved in this. Let me see what they're
Right,
gonna
but
do.
if you want me to relay that message to them, I will.
Be nice.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's all real anti and she
I know. She initiated it, I know. Miles?
Right?
Really? Really? It's all on video. We gotta go finalize the disc, but she gave it up.
When you did that file, let me know.
God damn. She called us. Yeah, she asked for a lawyer yesterday. And we had given her the speech on the car ride in here, you know. That was her shot. She said, no lawyer. Sitting in jail overnight. See, it's like eating at her and eating at her.
During her trial, Nibby tried to claim that Jim physically abused her. There was no evidence to support this, and even in her own journal, she referred to him as a good man and never wrote about any instance where he had harmed her. In July 2012, Jennifer Nibby was sentenced to 25 years in prison. She was also ordered to utilize her prison earnings to pay for Jim Nibby's funeral expenses, which totaled more than $11,000.
To be more careful. Woo! Well, y'all, that's it, honey. Phew. She ain't make no payment towards the service, y'all. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Whatever you're going through, get some help, okay? All right, I'm out.